Hello, friends. Hope you're having a great day today. Welcome to Monday's edition of Take 5. We're breaking down the subject that I preached on yesterday, and we're going to be doing this for a couple of weeks now. This is going to turn into a series, and we're just simply going to call it Rapture 101. You know, anytime you take a college course and it's English 101 or Science 101 or something like that, all that means is you're getting the basics. This is everything that you need to know to cover the basics of what is necessary for this particular subject. And the rapture, I think, is one of those subjects that we need to have a good knowledge of. For several months now, taking us all the way back into 2023, I think around August is when we started. I've been teaching on God's prophetic timeline on Sunday nights in our discipleship class. And man, we've had a great time looking at all of God's timeline, how things lay out from the rapture all the way into the new heavens and the new earth. We've been having a good time at that. But I just kind of felt impressed on Sunday mornings to come and do this series on the rapture to make sure that we have the understanding that we need to have. It is the next thing on God's prophetic calendar that is going to happen. And we need to be prepared for it. We need to understand it. God gives us the scriptures to teach us about it for a reason. And we need to know what they say. We need to know where we stand. And so I want to deal with this thing because it seems to be the source of controversy and debate. And the reason it is because when people find something that stirs their interest or their curiosity, when that's aroused towards something, then that opens up a door for controversy and debate. Because when people are drawn towards something as dynamic as the rapture, they seek information, but they don't always seek it diligently, and they don't always seek it in the right place. And that is a detriment to anything that you are trying to understand. What I've found is that people often settle for bits and pieces of information. And especially in my generation and younger, the older generation, not as much, but you do see them doing it as well. What we tend to do is settle for bits and pieces of information that you read or you hear about on the internet or social media sites, or either old church traditions that you only hold on to parts of. You don't know the whole thing, but you grab a part here and a part there and a part everywhere, and you put it all together, and you have to be real old to know what I'm talking about, but it ends up being like that car that Johnny Cash built in that song that he wrote that time, that he got pieces from all kind of different model cars, but he wanted to build him a Cadillac. And he got all the way back from a 4950, 5152. You know the song. If you old enough, you know the song. And he put all that stuff together. But it just wasn't what it was supposed to be. That's what we end up doing with our understanding of the rapture. And so you find people, they will like and share and talk about the things that they read and hear for three basic reasons. Number one, they do it often because it's comforting to them in their lifestyle. And so that's why they pursue what they pursue. Secondly, because it fits the pattern of what they want to believe, and that's why they pursue it. And thirdly, and I think is the most devastating, is that people share and like and hear and listen to and read and adhere to things about the rapture because of the status of the person who said it. And status is a big deal today. I'm not necessarily so sure that I agree with this idea of status. I think we ought to have good, honorable status. But what people are talking about is, you know, how many movies you've made, how many titles you've won, how many times you've been in office, and how many people you got following you. Because I've noticed that people prefer the opinion of rock stars, superstars, political stars, sports stars, and Hollywood stars more than they do biblical truth. And that is something we've got to get back to. I don't care what any of those stars say. If it does not line up, even if it's, church stars, preacher stars who have this big worldwide status, I don't care what anybody says. If it doesn't line up with the Bible, we don't need to adhere to it. We don't need to fill our minds with that garbage. Paul made the declaration 8 different times about 8 different subjects in the scriptures. And he said this, "My brothers, I do not want you to be ignorant." And he wrote what he wrote in his letters to the churches so that we would be properly informed about Christ and the promises that he made to the church. Now, the word ignorant, don't let that offend you. It just simply means lacking knowledge or understanding, uninformed, and unaware. That's simply all it means. Sometimes we find that people are ignorant of things because maybe you haven't heard the truth. And then there are times that people are ignorant of things because they have not sought the truth. I cannot express to you how important it is for you to seek the truth. When you hear something, you need to seek biblical truth behind it. Because when you seek the truth, even then you have to do it diligently, and you have to go to the right source, and the right source is only and always the Bible. I can't express that to any greater degree than what I'm telling you right now. What I want is this series on the rapture for the next 2 or 3 weeks, however long it's going to last. I want this series to be clear. I want it to be informative. I want it to be simple to understand so that when we're finished, we know what we believe. But now here's the catch. It really doesn't matter how we look at it or what perspective we take or how in-depth or elementary we make this subject as far as that goes. If we don't mix it with faith, it'll do us no good. Hebrews 4:2 says, the word preached to them did not profit them because they did not mix it with faith. That's why we're calling this Rapture 101, because we want to get back to the basics and we want to understand this thing like never before. We're going to talk about this thing this week. I believe it's going to be exciting. And as we go into the weeks that follow this, we're going to try to answer some questions that people have that keep coming up. And we're going to get our answers from the right source. We're going to get them from the Bible. And we're going to know what this thing called the rapture is. We need to know because Jesus is coming to rapture his church away. And it could be this very day. And I want to be ready to be a part of this great event that's coming next on God's prophetic timeline. Well, hey, I've got to get out of here. It's been good being with you today. Look forward to being with you tomorrow on Tuesday's edition of Take 5. Till then, God bless you. Have a great day and trust the Lord, friend. He will never fail you.